Welcome to another episode of Unfiltered Reactions. Today we're going to focus on modern women and what it's like dating them. So what I like to do is allow the video to play and then give my final thoughts. But every now and again, I will comment during the video. So without delay, let's get into it.
One thing I think that every woman needs to realize when dating is that men are going to do the bare minimum that they think that they need to do to achieve their desired goal. Whether that's dating with you, hooking up with you, it really doesn't matter. They are going to assess the level of effort that you have established is required, and they're going to meet that and nothing more. I just got off the phone with one of my friends talking about a lot of different dating topics, so get ready for a little series because now I have a lot on my mind. So often we settle for less as women in the beginning of the dating phases because we don't want to come across as high maintenance or too difficult, and we want to seem accommodating. If you haven't watched my video I made about embracing being high maintenance.
Yeah, she don't look crazy. She don't look crazy at all. But I mean, she look kind of young for her to be talking about a lot of this dating experience stuff, but I don't know. Let's see.
Go watch that. But we make all these compromises for what we really want, and then we get into the relationship, and then we try to get them to act how we actually want them to act, and we wonder why they're not acting how we want them to act. And that's because you have already shown him, by doing that, you've already shown him what the bare minimum is that you will accept. And now you're trying to make him do extra work when he already knows he doesn't need to do that work to keep you, to get with you, because you've already shown him that you don't require that. Now, I've been on both sides of the coin here. I have dated guys that did the most for me, like storybook, rom-com, Disney princess, didn't think that the men acted like this in real life. And then I watched them go on to their next girl and put forth a fourth of the amount of effort that they put forth for me. And I'm looking at them like, what the heck? Is this even the same guy that I dated? And
It never dawned on her that basically she might have been a bit much. Maybe he felt like you were overwhelming. Did that ever occur to you? Like, lady, relax.
also been on the other side of that where I was begging for small things like flowers and you don't take me out enough, and complaining that we're splitting bills. And then I've watched them go on to the next girl and buy plane tickets and dresses and plan dates and everything that I was begging and crying for them to do for me. And when I think back on these experiences, it all started at the beginning. The ones that came forth with the valiant effort were the ones that I set a high standard for from before date one, from before even date one. They knew that they had to come correct. They knew what my expectations were.
I'm sorry, I had to pause it one more time because she talking all this stuff, but where are they? Where are they now? Valiant effort. Where are they? Where is all this effort now? Where, like, this is what I'm saying. Your expectations, you know what I'm saying, took you right out of the dating pool because they were too high. And then you're not a bad looking person, but you got to be realistic.
And they continued to meet them throughout the relationship. In the situation where I kind of fell into dating someone and didn't really make them court me, I was unable to get them to treat me the way I deserved to be treated once we were deeper into the relationship. These men treated me such vastly different ways, and that's because I had shown them vastly different expectations of what my bare minimum effort level was. Men act different ways for different women, and that's because different women set different expectations. So before your next first date, think about how you want that guy to treat you and set forth that expectation of that level of effort. Because trust me, you don't want to watch them go on to the next girl and do everything that you wish they would have done for you.
Yeah, okay. So, is it a secret or do you even wonder why, you know what I mean, like, you haven't landed the guy that you wanted? You know what I mean? Like women don't understand that some of the things they say and do literally like runs them away, like run men away. You know what I mean? Like you chasing these guys away because your expectation is too unrealistic. You know what I mean? But uh, I felt like I needed more from you. So I kind of looked into your uh, TikTok just to see what I could come across because I felt like the way you were talking, it seemed like you have a lot of experience in dating. But so I just wanted to check you out, and this is what I came up with. All right, let's go.
So this might be my last post on this app. So please stick with me to the end because I want to give you guys a major update and a huge, huge thank you to everybody. And since you guys have been with me from the beginning of my dating journey, I figured it was only right to wrap this up by summarizing how we got here. All right, the inverted filter is on. Let's go through my dating recap. All right, so last year I went on dates with a total of 7 men, which is an improvement from the previous year of 5. I did not come anywhere close to my goal of going on a date with somebody new every month, but y'all already know that I was...
My bad, y'all. But 7 men in a year, and last year was 5. I mean, you were active. But go ahead.
Burnt out and gave up halfway through the year. So let's look at where I met these men. As you can see, we have some nice variety here. I met one out on the street. One I did have a low point in life and spun the block. So there is one from the past. One was actually a referral. My first referral, this came from a manager, and a manager that I used to work with referred me to his cousin. He thought that we would be a good match, so he set the two of us up. I met 2 at a pool party, which actually happened to be some of the higher quality guys that I dated this year. So who would have known? Being in a bikini drunk actually can get you a solid man. And then I met 2 at work. One at my corporate job and one at a dance job that I was working. Again, work has proven to be a great place for me to meet men. I would caveat this with I don't actually work in the same department as any of them. You gotta be careful about that. All right, now, how long did they last? Okay, man number 1 was actually a rollover from last year. We had 2 months together last year and 2 months together this year for a total of 4 months. Man number 2 lasted 3 months, but this was long distance and taking place completely over the phone, and we actually ended before I actually got a chance to fly out there and see him again in person. Man number 3 lasted for a total of 2 months. And man 4 lasted for a total of 2 days. This was the spin the block. So not starting off the year strong, really, really declining. But then we had an uptick. Man number 5 lasted for 2 months. Man number 6 lasted for a month. And man number 7, TBD. We're at 2 months now, still going strong. How many times did I say that I found my husband? 0! This is a huge improvement from the year before, where every guy that I went on a date with, I decided was my husband. As y'all know, I have given up on looking into the future, and I am living in the present moment and in the now. So no matter how great they are, I'm just gonna say that they're great, and we'll see what the future brings. All right, who ended things? Once again, the graph is all one color, me. I ended things 100% of the time. Now let's look at why I had to end things. All right, man number 1. Now, he was a raging narcissist. If y'all have seen my other videos on
Raging narcissist, a.k.a. he didn't take you seriously.
this, I go into quite a lot of detail on how that situation played out. Number 2, nice guy, but he just wasn't up to par. I feel like I was definitely too high maintenance for him. He was not equipped to handle what I was bringing. Man number 3.
Wasn't nice guy. Wasn't up to par, a little bit too high maintenance, and he wasn't up for what you was bringing. What were you bringing? It seemed like you were taking if you were high maintenance. What was you bringing? Demands? Cash app requests? Like, again, not taking it seriously.
Completely unserious. Okay, that man was never about to settle down with anybody ever. Man number 4.
She was accurate about that one.
I was bored and I spun the block. So, that wasn't going anywhere.
You know what that mean? That carousel. She was on that carousel, that pogo stick, spin the block. You know what I'm saying? She said it, not me.
All right, now here's where things get interesting. Man number 5 and 6, they just got beaten out by man number 7. Man number 7 was coming in strong, and all of my attention.
Man number 6 was tearing it up strong. He beat them out. He beat them out because he beat it up. Oh, he can lay you down, but I'm going to beat it up. Yeah.
Slowly diverted away from the other 2 onto him. Which brings me to my very big update. Where are we now? I have happily left the streets with man number 7, and we are in a committed relationship. It has.
I mean, 7 dudes in 1 year, each averaging about a month and a half, or somewhere around that. And if you've been around a month and a half, things more than likely happen. So, I mean, like, but this is the crazy part. Girls have the access. They have the power of options. So, therefore, they don't have to behave accordingly. Now, that will get you dates. That will make you a fun girl, but I don't know if that would necessarily make you a wife. And I'm pretty sure that's the ultimate goal. At the end of the day, though, guys don't be having, like, the average guys don't be having these kind of options. 6 girls in 1 year, 7 girls in 1 year. Most men in today's society is not getting it like that, unless they're like the top 20%, then yeah, it's different. But everything below that, man, they averaging like maybe 1 or 2, and some dudes being some serious droughts. I'm talking desert like. But again, I was searching. I stayed searching, and I came up with something that I found interesting. Interesting. I found this very interesting. I want you guys to take a look at this and tell me what you think. It reads, I fired my therapist today. That lady tried to tell me I had issues with perfectionism. I told her I didn't. Then she started pointing out all the ways I'm not perfect. Clearly a hater. She had to go. So, my closing thoughts is I think modern dating can be both exciting and overwhelming. With the rise of apps, social media, and evolving norms, it's important to approach it with the right mindset. Here's some solid advice on what to expect and what not to expect, and some insight into the big problems and solutions. I would say what to expect in modern dating. I think it will be variety and options, because in today's world, you're likely to encounter a wide range of personalities, lifestyles, and values. While this could be exciting, it can also make it harder to choose and commit to one person. And then it's like the quick communication, like instant messaging and swiping through apps makes it easier to connect with people. But it can also, you know, lead to a sense of urgency or the paradox of choice where you're overwhelmed by options. And then there's them casual relationships, where many people are prioritizing experiences or looking for casual, non-committed relationships, especially with the rise of hookup culture. Not, not everyone is necessarily looking for long-term commitment right away. And then you got that mix of genuine and superficial connections. It's common to encounter both deep connections as well as more surface level, short-term interactions. People may not always be clear about what they want from the start. That's why, people need to take their time. because modern dating often means taking things slow and getting to know someone over time, whether online or offline. People may not rush into relationships, which could lead to less pressure and more room to figure out who you are. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing is stop expecting instant compatibility. You know what I'm saying? Just because you meet someone online or in person and y'all click right away doesn't mean it's perfect match. It's a perfect match. Expecting perfection or instant compatibility can lead to disappointment. And honestly, that's what her therapist said. That she thought she was a perfectionist and she didn't want to hear the truth. And I figured the solution would be to clarify your intentions. Be upfront about what you want early on and ask others to do the same. This right here will avoid a whole bunch of misunderstanding and it'll help you connect with people who are on the same page. I'm telling you, if you try it, you'll be surprised. And also, because of that internet stuff and everything is being overwhelming, you might need to limit your options. Instead of swiping endlessly through profiles, try focusing on a few good, genuine people that like you, and this will help you avoid decision fatigue, and it allows you to form more meaningful connections. And hopefully it'll probably, evolve into or culminate into, a relationship. And then you got to be patient and present in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the time to actually get to know someone instead of rushing into anything. You know what I mean? Like, don't treat dating as like a checklist to complete. Give relationships time and space that it needs to grow. Communicate openly. Don't be afraid to express what you want or need in a relationship as long as it's not exaggerated. Because clear communication early can save you a lot of frustration and headaches later. And then another thing is have realistic expectations. Understand that relationships is not perfect. People are complex and relationships require a lot of effort. So you might want to focus on growth and not perfection. And if you found value, please hit the subscribe and like button. And if you made it this far, thank you. Till then, tighten up. Peace.